Mark Skaar on the Skaar Kaard on 103.7 The Fox. Proud to welcome in Xeno, Randy Hogan from Bad Boy.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And we want to talk about the fabulous new Bad Boy record, No Regrets. Congratulations.
Yeah, we're really happy with it. We hadn't recorded anything for quite a while. Then there was that big shutdown, of course, the quarantine. So I called the boys up, said, come on over and play, and next thing we know, we had an album.
And this is your first record in, I think, roughly 20 years, right?
Well, about 15, I think.
Okay. 11 songs on this one. So, as you mentioned, you kind of worked on this while everything was shut down, and now we have it. We've been featuring the songs on the Skaar Kaard. And walk me through how a typical Bad Boy song gets put together.
I write some, and Steve writes some, and now our bass player, Craig, has started writing a bit. So we bring the song to the band and kick it around. If it's not complete, well, then we work on the arrangements, bring it back. And actually, it took a couple of months to write all this stuff. Actually, I had planned on doing a solo album, but then the quarantine hit, and I just said, hey, it's Bad Boy, it's a great band, why don't we just do a Bad Boy album? It doesn't take a whole lot of screwing around. They come pretty complete.
Xeno, were all the songs written during quarantine?
Oh, no. I'm going to say about 60% of it was. Like I said, I'd already started working on a solo album.
So some of these songs, obviously, were gestating from times past, as we mentioned. And
oh, yeah.
But how long did it take to put the record together?
Oh, I think we recorded through the course of the summer, which is hard because our summers are very busy for all of us. Aside from the Bad Boy Band, we all have side projects, and we work really, really a lot in the summer. But we managed to get it done, so it wasn't so bad.
And if people want to find it, Xeno, how can they best do that?
You can find it at our gig, and if you're not anywhere near where we are on eBay. Just look up Bad Boy, No Regrets. You can find it right there. We thought that'd be nice and easy for people.
That's where I got my copy. We're with Xeno from Bad Boy, and Bad Boy has been in existence since, what, the late 70s?
Yeah, actually, I didn't join until 82, and I actually met the boys back in the early 70s when they were Crossfire, and I was playing in a little-known band at the time called Cheap Trick, and we used to play gigs together, and that's where we met.
Because Bad Boy is based in Milwaukee, but you have roots nearer to where we are. 2 hours north of us is Minneapolis, and so
that's right. I lived there for many years in the 70s. Actually, 74 through 82. Left Cheap Trick. I moved to Minneapolis and joined a band called Straight Up, which was a big theatrical show. Some people might remember that from the ballrooms.
And Straight Up featured Yanni, too, right, at one point?
Yanni was in the band, also Tom Murray from Litter. It was quite an experience. I was in my early 20s, and I fell in love with Minneapolis, moved there, started playing with the band, and still have very good friends there. Still home away from home for me.
You spent some time in Dare Force, too, right?
That's correct.
What years would that have been?
I just got a message from Johnny O'Neill. I know he just did an album.
Yep.
And he wants to do another album, and he wants to record one of my songs that I wrote when I was in that band.
Oh, wonderful.
So I said, that's fine with me.
I had Johnny on this show last year. Great guy. What years were you in the Air Force?
Let me think. That had to be 78 through 81, maybe, or right around there.
So between Straight Up and Bad Boy.
Yes.
Cheap Trick, going back, because there was Sick Man of Europe was going on somewhere in there, and I think they had Stookie singing with them. And so how did you hook up with those guys?
Well, that's when they were in Philadelphia, but of course they're native Rockfordians, Rockford, Illinois. And I grew up there also. They came back to Illinois, were looking to put a band together, and actually they had talked about getting Robin in the band, but he was tied up with he was doing a lounge act up in the Dells,
right,
and could not get free. So he recommended me, so I played in the band for the first 2 years. And, of course, I'd known Bunny. We'd played shows together, so.
And you and Robin were obviously acquainted and friendly.
Oh, we grew up together, went to high school together, graduated high school together, played in bands, sang in choirs. You name it, we did it.
Because Rick's parents had a music store. His dad did.
Oh, yeah. Little known fact, they were actually both singers.
So that's how that whole thing happened.
Oh, yeah. And I got the call from Bunny and said, do you want to come over and play it? I did, and there you have it.
Talking to Xeno from Bad Boy. Speaking of Bunny, you were a participant in Greetings from Venezuela, came out in 2016, a fun record from Bunny.
A lot of good stuff on there. I think Silver Spoon Pickup is on there. The who else? The Hansons.
Yep.
A few other people like that. It's awesome. It's a really good album. It was really fun to do.
And you're on Let the Mystery Be and Count on Me.
Correct.
Bad Boy 2022. What's it look like for the rest of the year for you?
Oh boy. I probably do on average between 120 to 140 shows a year, and it's going to be that more this year. It's been really, really busy. I mean, I guess that's good. This time of year, I normally take some time off and do my writing and recording, but I'm just busy as hell. So I think the year is going to be that way for sure.
It's a nice problem to have.
Yeah, well, it is. And the summers are always insane, of course, because we all live in the Midwest, and you know how that goes. Make hay while the sun shines, and it doesn't shine that long.
Or Xeno from Bad Boy. Tell me about the other guys in the band. Some of them have been there since the inception.
Oh, Steve. I met Steve Grimm back in the 70s, as I said, when we used to play shows together. I was in Cheap Trick, and they were in Crossfire. And we've had some member changes since, but we've had Scotty Barrett on drums for the last 20 years, and also Craig Evans on bass and vocal for the last 20 years. So we've been together a while now.
It's a nice long time. It's hard to do.
It is, it is.
Also, I'd be remiss if I didn't get you a chance to plug your solo stuff. I still believe in rock and roll and no strings attached, right?
Yep, you got it. Right. You are an informed man.
I try to do a little bit of homework. Tell me about those records.
Well, Those Strings Attached was a band I had, which was acoustic, and I had two other players, Tommy Graybolt, former violinist for Foots and Dunn, great player, and Rachel Trapp, who was also a great player and a great singer. And we did an album called Strange Little Album. And it is. It's just a collection of songs that mostly I wrote. I think Tommy wrote one and Rachel wrote a couple. But it's fun. It's a fun little album. There's some really nice things on there. Then I did my solo album, I Still Believe in Rock and Roll, which I played guitar and sang, and it's more of a rock album. But again, some interesting things on there.
Going back to Cheap Trick, I would imagine that you probably, right out of the gate, maybe were singing on some things that we know now with the original band?
You know, a lot of the cover stuff that they did in the early days, they'd been to England and back, and so they had a list of hits from England that nobody knew here, and so those are the songs we played. Things by Jackie Lomax and Frampton's Camel, and for instance, Do Ya, the song Do Ya. Do you remember the song Do Ya by Frampton? It was a hit in Illinois or in England well before it was a hit here, and here I was in 1973 singing this song and playing Mellotron, so it was kind of crazy. But anyway, we played those songs. People thought those were our songs.
Sure.
Because they didn't know them. And they were, proven hit songs.
And here we are all these years later, and you're both still doing it, and it's incredible. Kudos to that, for that.
Well, it's like I tell other people, I don't know what else I would do. And people ask me, are you ever going to retire? And I said, pretty much I take the same line from Paul McCartney and Willie Nelson. Retire from what? This is what I am. This is what I do. If I don't do this, then I may as well go away.
Xeno, if people want to keep in touch with you and Bad Boy and what you're up to, what's the best way for people to do that?
Well, you can reach me at my website, xenorock.com. That's XENOROCK.com. Or you can go to Facebook, and you can dial in badboyrock.wi.
Are there going to be any videos for anything off No Regrets?
We're working on that right now. A couple of us are out of town, but we're working on videos, and we'll probably put some stuff up on Facebook also.
Very cool. Looking forward to that. We're spinning No Regrets. We're going to continue to do so for the next foreseeable future, and really, really enjoying it, and we want our listeners to go out and get it, as Xeno mentioned earlier, and we've mentioned on the show, eBay is the best way to do that. Bad Boy, No Regrets. It's out now. Xeno, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
You're very welcome. I appreciate it.
For Xeno, I'm Mark Skaar. This is the Skaar Kaard, the new classic rock that rocks, right here on 103.7 The Fox.